Japan, an archipelago steeped in history, has remarkable megalithic structures from a time long lost to our history books. These monumental sites, often crafted with an astonishing level of precision and alignment with astronomical phenomena, suggest sophisticated knowledge and capabilities that could redefine conventional historical narratives. There are gigantic 800-ton granite blocks carved with extreme precision that were left in the middle of the forest, together with enormous tombs surrounded by water moats that have never been excavated. There are colossal quarries covered with machine marks and cut with laser-like precision. There are massive stone walls resembling those found in Peru and Egypt, the blocks of which couldn't be moved even today with our modern technology. Join us in this documentary, where we will explore the prehistoric marvels of an unknown civilization that inhabited not only the land of what is now Japan, but also the surrounding seabed, which was once the home of an advanced ancient civilization before the end of the last ice age. Nokogiri, located in Chiba Prefecture, Japan, is the location of an enormous megalithic site believed to be an ancient quarry. The Japanese have aptly named this site Saw Mountain due to the cut marks reminiscent of a saw, and they used it as a stone quarry beginning in the early Edo period, from 1603 to 1868. However, the actual age of the Mount Nokogiriyama quarry remains a mystery. There are many features of the site suggesting a much older and possibly prehistoric origin, hinting at the works of a lost advanced civilization. The theory that Mount Nokogiri could have been an ancient quarry long before the Edo period is fueled by the perfect cuts on the stone, which are remarkably precise. These cuts are exceptionally straight and clean, suggesting the use of advanced tools or techniques that seem out of place for the known historical period of the quarry's operation. During the Edo period in Japan, the technology and tools available for quarrying and stone cutting were quite basic, using chisels and hammers, as well as wedges and spikes. When comparing these traditional tools and methods to the precise and almost machine-like cuts observed in some ancient stones at sites like Mount Nokogiriyama, there is a notable discrepancy in capability. We must also consider the incredible height of these walls, which reach up to approximately 30 meters, which is about 100 feet in some places. The precision in the ancient cuts suggests the use of technology that could consistently produce straight and perfectly aligned cuts, no matter the height, which is difficult to achieve with the aforementioned traditional tools. Curiously, the precise stone cuts at Mount Nokogiriyama bear a striking resemblance to those found at other ancient sites across the globe, where similar meticulous craftsmanship points to sophisticated stoneworking skills. For instance, Pumapunku in Bolivia is an ancient site famed for its incredibly precise stonework. The cuts and drill holes in these stones are so fine and exact that they have led some to speculate about the possibility of advanced prehistoric stone cutting technologies, possibly even predating the Inca civilization. If Pumapunku was constructed by a highly advanced civilization preceding the Inca, who then merely inherited the site, might it also be possible that the Mount Nokogiri quarry was originally developed by an even older civilization, which was later inherited by the Japanese? The features discovered at the site are extraordinary. For instance, there are sections where precise roads and arches have been meticulously carved straight into the rock face of the mountain. Such achievements are truly monumental. The strangest anomaly of the site is the various vertical incisions, which are perfectly parallel to one another. If you watched our recent documentary in which we explored the prehistoric megalithic sites found in China, these vertical incisions probably look familiar to you. We showed you these same incisions on various unexplained sites in China, such as the Oilstone Quarry, where gigantic stone blocks were carved from the rock, together with the vast cave networks of Longyu Caves, the Huashan Grottos, and more. All of these extensive sites were centers of monumental construction efforts and stone extraction processes, with millions of tons of rock being removed. For simple Bronze Age cultures equipped with primitive tools, such tasks would have been unfathomable. The precise vertical cuts found at all of these sites closely resemble those produced in modern mines using advanced drilling machinery. Take a look at this comparison of the lines found at Mount Nokogiriyama and compare them with the marks left by our modern machines. The similarity is uncanny. Of course, this does not mean that the ancient Japanese were unskilled stoneworkers. During the Edo period, the Japanese, who likely inherited this ancient site, added remarkable pieces of art, like this giant Buddha. This impressive sculpture, which dates back to 1783, was carved directly into the stone face of the mountain. It stands approximately 31 meters high, making it one of the largest Buddha statues in Japan. Adjacent to it, there are over 1,500 smaller stone statues of Buddhist disciples, known as Reikan. These statues, scattered around the slopes of the mountain, are intricately carved, each with unique facial expressions and poses. They depict the followers of Buddha, each captured in different postures of meditation and contemplation. But again, these artistic decorations were likely added thousands of years later and have nothing to do with the original builders of the site. Given all that we've considered thus far, it's worth questioning whether this prehistoric site was actually used as a quarry at all. The primary objective of a stone quarry is typically to extract the maximum amount of stone using the least amount of labor and energy within the shortest possible time frame. However, the practices observed here appear to contradict these principles. If the workers lacked machinery and had to make parallel incisions by hand, it suggests that they extracted as little stone as possible while expending a significant amount of labor. Moreover, why would they create perfectly polished and precisely angled 90-degree cavities in the rock if their sole intention was merely to extract stone? Such meticulous craftsmanship suggests other motivations or purposes behind their laborious efforts. But the question is, what? As we transition from the rugged landscapes of Mount Nokogiri to another significant site, the Oilstone Quarry in Utsunomiya, we encounter a very similar quarry. In this quarry, we can once again see precise cuts and parallel machine marks on the stone. Are these marks really made by some sort of advanced ancient machine technology? The notion that such technology existed is supported by the precision and consistency of the markings, which conventional tools of the periods attributed to these sites would struggle to achieve. What sets the Oilstone Quarry apart from that on Mount Nokogiri is that it reaches depths of about 200 feet or 60 meters. This is a monumental undertaking by any standard, especially without the use of modern equipment. The interior of this man-made cave is remarkable, with a perfectly flat floor, precise 90-degree angled cuts in various parts, and once again, parallel grooves. The site looks exactly like the Longyu Caves and the Huashan Grottos in China. But how is this possible? Considering the distance between the Oilstone Quarry in Japan and those sites in central China is approximately 1,800 kilometers, about 1,118 miles. This measurement does not account for the additional distances that would be added by land or sea routes needed to actually travel between these two locations. Maybe all of these sites were built by the same global civilization, a civilization that possessed advanced technology and sophisticated knowledge that would allow them to construct these gigantic megaliths. It is unknown what caused the extinction of this culture, but most likely it was some sort of cataclysmic event. If we visit the town of Takasago in Hyogo Prefecture, we can find another incredible megalith. This is Ishino Hoden, also known as the Floating Stone. This unusual and strange creation was carved from a single piece of stone block made from tuff. Tuff stone is a type of rock formed from volcanic ash ejected during explosive volcanic eruptions. This gigantic megalith weighs around 500 tons, and it's about 15 feet high and 15 feet deep, which is around 5 meters. This makes this stone larger than any of the stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of which weighed 80 tons. To this day, the origins and purposes of this ancient relic are a complete mystery, as there are no inscriptions or markings on it. Estimates place its construction in the prehistoric Jomon period, which dates back to around 14,000 to 300 BCE. A Shinto shrine was later constructed around the stone by the Japanese, and the megalith became traditionally known as the Floating Stone due to its unique placement. The design of this stone is highly unusual. It resembles a component of a vast machine, almost like a cube with a tapered end on one side. The stone is precisely cut, with sharp